Hi folks, you're with gothatfunk, and this is a video response to a text comment that I got from one of my more regular commenters. Her name is onepersontwoperson, and she was responding to a comment in yesterday's video. The video was called A Romantic Fantasy by gothatfunk, and it featured a poem that I wrote 21 years ago called Sharing Is All. Well, attached to that video was another video by me explaining a little bit about my inspiration for writing Sharing Is All. And in that video I mentioned that I don't believe in soulmates anymore, but that I did at the time I wrote the poem. And anyway, she wrote to me in a comment. She says, "You don't believe in soulmates? ? What is love to you then?" And I have a vast vault of poetry that I've written over the years, and I've actually written a poem that answers that exact question. But it occurred to me, I was going to post it as a text comment to her, but it occurred to me that maybe I shouldn't do that because I wrote that poem about 21 years ago, around about the same time I wrote Sharing Is All, and since then I've been married twice and moved all around the world and blah blah blah, and my experiences have changed. I wondered if my concept of love has changed very much, and certainly didn't seem appropriate to post a 21-year-old poem, 22 years old, whichever. Anyway, so I thought I'd just roll the camera and talk a little bit about it. There's two questions, I suppose, that sort of intertwine. What is love to you, and what is love, to you, and what does love mean to you, which I think are two separate questions. Well, love to me is pretty much the combination of all the most intense emotions. It's not any one emotion. I think love has many, many facets, and all sorts of different emotions locked together in this great big puzzle. And if you're very lucky, you can keep it all together. When it comes to what does love mean to me, what does it mean in my life? Well, my mom used to say that I have a love addiction, and at the time she said it, I was probably 22 or 23, and I don't think I liked it very much at the time. If I recall correctly, I think my ego was a little bit too big and my emotional maturity a little bit too small back then, and I wasn't really, I just didn't like the way that sounded. I didn't like the whole addiction part of it for a start. But her description of what a love addiction was that, I can be perfectly happy in all aspects of my life as long as I have someone to love and someone that loves me. But if I don't have that, no matter how much else I've got going for me, I can't be settled and feel complete and content. And at the time I was like, no, I'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. But it seems more true than false. I'm not saying it's 100% true. I'm not codependent or anything like that. But at the same time, I have to admit that I much rather have someone that I love to share my experiences with and share my life with. And when I say share my life, I'm talking about all of it, all aspects of it, my thoughts, my fears, my feelings, my hopes, my confusion, everything. Sharing to me is the whole axis around which healthy, loving relationships have to turn. You need to be, comfortable with someone, and love is all those things. You can't be comfortable in a certainly if you're going to be living with someone as a permanent partner, whether you're married or not. You need to be able to stand each other on bad days and be patient with each other when you have to be. There's all these things wrapped up which make love up. I would love to just think of love as a purely romantic feeling, but there's much more practical aspects to love which are actually more important, and they are actually personality traits. To coin a phrase from someone much more famous than myself, if you're listening to the better angels of your nature, love will never lead you wrong. I think it's when we stop listening to that kind of thing that things start to go foul. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I've got 2 failed marriages behind me. So anyway, what love means to me, though, I can't really put into words properly, I suppose, because whilst I am perfectly content to do my own thing if I have to, that's only because that's my attitude, is to make the best of whatever my situation is. If I was in love like I was last year, and with somebody who actually really loved me back, and I thought that was going to last, I guarantee you'd never met anybody as happy as you'd see if you met me, because that makes me pretty fucking happy when I've got love in my life. I become a much more upbeat and chirpy individual. Anyway, so it matters an awful lot to me, but when I haven't got it, I try to take the best out of the rest. I literally do smell the roses when I walk by. I'm surrounded by people that care about me, and I take a lot of value out of that. And that's a different kind of love. It's not romance, but it is certainly the next best thing, and that's not a bad thing. There's an awful lot of love out there, and I'm really lucky that some of it shines on me. And what I really want is to shine some back, and I'm sure someday I'll meet someone right. But that day isn't today, and it's not tomorrow. Alright? So that's what love means to me. It's all off the cuff. I hope I wasn't too incoherent. This has Got That Funk. Thanks for hanging in, and may all your ups and downs be ups.